Hi, welcome to Anywhere Storytime, children's stories read aloud by Ashley. Today we will be reading There Was an Old Lady Who Swallowed a Bat by Lucille Calandro, illustrated by Jared Lee. There was an old lady who swallowed a bat. I don't know why she swallowed a bat. Imagine that. There was an old lady who swallowed an owl. My, oh my, she started to howl. She swallowed the owl to shush the bat. I don't know why she swallowed a bat. Imagine that. There was an old lady who swallowed a cat. What do you think? Now she's so fat. She swallowed the cat to chase the owl. She swallowed the owl to shush the bat. I don't know why she swallowed a bat. Imagine that. There was an old lady who swallowed a ghost. What do you think she liked it the most? She swallowed the ghost to catch the cat. She swallowed the cat to chase the owl. She swallowed the owl to shush the bat. I don't know why she swallowed a bat. Imagine that. There was an old lady who swallowed a goblin. It made her so dizzy she started to spin. She swallowed the goblin to scare the ghost. She swallowed the ghost to catch the cat. She swallowed the cat to chase the owl. She swallowed the owl to shush the bat. I don't know why she swallowed a bat. Imagine that. There was an old lady who swallowed some bones. Ooh, there were so many she started to groan. She swallowed the bones to rattle the goblin. She swallowed the goblin to scare the ghost. She swallowed the ghost to catch the cat. She swallowed the cat to chase the owl. She swallowed the owl to shush the bat. I don't know why she swallowed a bat. Imagine that. There was an old lady who swallowed a wizard to cast a spell so she could yell, "Trick or treat!" Burp. Happy Halloween. The end. Welcome to Anywhere Storytime, read by Ashley. Today's story is Little Blue Truck's Halloween, a Lift the Flap book, written by Alice Schertle, illustrated by Jill McElmurray. Little Blue Truck and his good friend Toad are going to a party just down the road. Beep, 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 says Little Blue. It's Halloween, you come too. Who's that in a tutu striking a pose? Up on the tiniest tips of her toes. Under the mask, who do you see? Quack, says the duck. It's me, it's me. Who's this clown with a big red nose and a cap that jingles wherever he goes? Under the mask, who do you see? Bah, says the sheep, it's me, it's me. Who's this queen with a golden crown and sparkling jewels and a velvet gown? Under the mask, who do you see? Moo, says the cow, it's me, it's me. What scraggly hair, what funny teeth, who is hiding underneath? Under the mask, who do you see? Oink, says the pig, it's me, it's me. There's a fancy feather on the pirate's hat. Who's dressed up in a hat like that? Under the mask, who do you see? Cluck, says the hen, it's me, it's me. A dragon's head and dragon wings. Who's that wearing those dragon things? Under the mask, who do you see? Nay, says the horse, it's me, it's me. Croak, says Toad, there's just one more. Has anyone seen this ghost before? Off comes the sheet. It's you know who. Little Blue Truck says beep, beep, boo. The end. Happy Halloween! Welcome to Anywhere Storytime by Ashley. Where is baby's pumpkin? A Karen Katz Lift the Flap book. Tonight is Halloween. Baby is looking for her special pumpkin. Is it under the leaves? No, but there's a fuzzy black cat. Is it behind the curtain? No, look, a friendly ghost. Is it in the closet? No, but here are some happy bats. Is it behind Mommy's bowls? No, but here are some yummy candy apples. Is it under the bed? No, it's a pointy witch's hat. Is baby's pumpkin outside the door? Yes! And now we can all go trick or treating. Happy Halloween! The end. Welcome to Anywhere Story Time by Ashley. Today we will be reading another Halloween story, Room on the Broom by Julia Donaldson. Pictures by Axel Scheffler. The witch had a cat and a hat that was black, and long ginger hair and a braid down her back. How the cat purred, and how the witch grinned, as they sat on their broomstick and flew through the wind. But how the witch wailed, and how the cat spat, when the wind blew so wildly, it blew off the hat. Down, cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the hat, but no hat could be found. Then out of the bushes on thundering paws, there bounded a dog with the hat in his jaws. He dropped it politely, then eagerly said, as the witch pulled the hat firmly down on her head, I am a dog as keen as can be. Is there room on the broom for a dog like me? Yes, cried the witch, and the dog clambered on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. Over the fields and the forest they flew. The dog wagged his tail, and the stormy wind blew. The witch laughed out loud and held onto her hat, but away blew the bow from her braid just like that. Down, cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the bow, but no bow could be found. Then out from a tree with an ear-splitting shriek, there flapped a green bird with the bow in her beak. She dropped it politely and bent her head low, then said, as the witch tied her braid in the bow, I am a bird as green as can be. Is there room on the broom for a bird like me? Yes, cried the witch. So the bird fluttered on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. Over the reeds and the rivers they flew. The bird shrieked with glee, and the stormy wind blew. They shot through the sky to the back of beyond. The wind clutched her bow, but let go of her wand. Down, cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the wand, but no wand could be found. Then all of a sudden, from out of a pond, leaped a dripping wet frog with a dripping wet wand. He dropped it politely, then said with a croak, as the witch dried the wand on a fold of her cloak, I am a frog, as clean as can be. Is there room on the broom for a frog like me? Yes, said the witch. So the frog bounded on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. Over the moors and the mountains they flew. The frog jumped for joy, and the broom snapped in two. Down fell the cat and the dog and the frog. Down they went tumbling into a bog. The witch's half broomstick flew into a cloud, and the witch heard a roar that was scary and loud. I am a dragon as mean as can be. and which with French fries tastes delicious to me." "No!" cried the witch, flying higher and higher. The dragon flew after her, breathing out fire. "Help!" cried the witch, flying down to the ground. She looked all around, but no help could be found. The dragon drew near with a glint in his eyes and said, "Just this once I'll have witch without fries." But just as he planned to begin on his feast, from out of a ditch rose a horrible beast. It was tall, dark, and sticky, and feathered and furred. It had 4 frightful heads. It had wings like a bird, and its terrible voice, when it started to speak, was a yowl and a growl and a croak and a shriek. It dripped and it squelched as it strode from the ditch. And it said to the dragon, "Buzz off, that's my witch." The dragon drew back and he started to shake. "I'm sorry," he spluttered. "I made a mistake. It's nice to have met you, but now I must fly." And he spread out his wings and was off through the sky. Then down flew the bird and down jumped the frog. Down climbed the cat and "Phew!" said the dog. "And thank you, oh thank you," the grateful witch cried. "Without you I'd be in that dragon's insides." Then she filled up her cauldron and said with a grin, "Find something, everyone, throw something in." So the frog found a lily, the cat found a cone, the bird found a twig, and the dog found a bone. They threw them all in, and the witch stirred them well. And while she was stirring, she muttered a spell. Iggity, ziggity, zaggity, zoom! Then out rose a truly magnificent broom, with seats for the witch and the cat and the dog, a nest for the bird, and a pool for the frog. "Yes!" cried the witch, and they all clambered on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. The end. Happy Halloween, everyone. Hi, welcome to Anywhere Storytime, children's stories read aloud by Ashley. Today we are reading How to Catch a Witch by Alice Walstead and Megan Joyce. How to Catch a Witch. The pumpkins were carved and lit from within. As we walked in the crisp autumn air, we started to notice ghosts, ghouls, and goblins popping up here, there, and everywhere. But there aren't enough kids living in our own town to account for this many creatures. Some of these beings just might be real. Take a look at all their weird features. Up very high was a witch in the sky. On her broom she had invites to carry. With a wave of her wand, the music began. When dancing, the ghost looked less scary. We figured out that the witch brought the creatures, so we set traps for a Halloween prize. We have to catch her to send all the ghouls back. It won't be easy, 'cause this witch is wise. Beyond catching the witch, there's candy to get, chocolates and sweets, big and small. If the tricks, treats, and traps all fall in line, this spooky night we might have it all. Whoosh! She likes spiders, and maybe their webs can help out. The witch could get stuck on the floor. Hang on a second. Wait just a minute. Do we have more kids than before? This witch is clever and brought lots of friends. We need far better traps before this night ends. Zombies, dinos, ghosts, wolves, and more. Monsters everywhere and one in a pool. We can't catch them all in just one night. Better trap the witch before ghouls rule my school. This is getting serious. We're running out of time. Do witches even stop for roadblocks? Sure hope she falls for a tunnel of tricks. We need to return our dad's toolbox. The witch stops her boogie to come and explore, wondering what tricks are inside. She's wise to the trap and summons some help, sending a bat in first as her guide. We watch the boat to see when to start. She skipped the boat and just used her broom. Makes sense, we guess. Why wouldn't she fly? We had no idea that thing had such zoom. The dance party had hit the finale at last. Each dancing monster started to cheer. There's no doubt about it, we have to admit. This witch threw the party of the year. Then, just when we thought it was over, and all the goblins were with us forever, the witch opened a portal, and they left in a flash. As party hostess, she's welcome whenever. Happy Halloween! See you next year. The end. Hi, welcome to Anywhere Storytime, children's stories read aloud by Ashley. Today we have a special story because it will be 2 stories in 1. We will be reading Disney Mickey and Friend Mickey's Halloween Mystery Book, which has 2 stories. The first story is Mystery at the Haunted Hotel, and the second story will be The Case of the Missing Hat. Mystery at the Haunted Hotel. Hooray! Shouted Morty. We're on our way. We're on our way to a haunted holiday. Ferdy sang. Hop in the car, Pluto, Mickey said. Then we'll be off to Haunted Hollow, the spookiest Halloween town of all time. Do you think we'll see a real ghost? Morty asked. Mickey laughed. There's no such thing as a real ghost. After a long drive, Mickey, Pluto, and the boys arrived at the haunted hotel in Haunted Hollow. This place sure is creepy, said Morty. I'll bet there are secret passageways and everything, said Ferdy. Mickey shivered as he felt a finger tap him on the shoulder. I am Frankenstein. I hope to make your stay most interesting, the manager said as he handed Mickey the key to their room. Gee, thanks, said Mickey. Here is our room, said Morty, number 13. I can't see a thing, Mickey said as he walked in. Someone find a light. This must be it, said Ferdy as he flipped a switch. But the light did not go on. Instead, they heard a strange noise. Squeak. I guess this light switch doesn't work, said Ferdy. Finally, Ferdy found one that did. Wow, said Morty. This place is spooky. Look at all those cobwebs. How do you like it, Pluto? Mickey asked. Pluto? Where are you? Mickey and the boys searched the room. They looked behind the curtains, under the bed, and in the bathroom, but they could not find him. Pluto was gone. Have you seen our dog? Mickey asked Frankenstein. He seems to have disappeared. Disappeared? Frank repeated. Perhaps you should talk to Mr. Invisible. He knows about disappearing. Can you help us find our dog? Mickey asked Mr. Invisible. He seems to have disappeared. A dog? Said Mr. Invisible. I have not seen him. But perhaps you should ask the werewolf. He knows many dogs. I have not seen your dog, said the werewolf, but I would love to meet him. Allow me to introduce myself, said a man in a long cape. I am Count Vampire. Would your dog happen to be a bloodhound? No, said Mickey. Then I'm afraid I cannot help you, said the Count. Mickey and the boys searched and searched, but no one had seen Pluto. They returned to their room and sadly went to bed. Morty sighed, Ferdy sniffed, and Mickey shed a tear. Then Mickey turned out the light, but he could not sleep. Suddenly they heard a howl. Ow! Ow! It is a ghost, said Morty. Don't be silly. There's no such thing as a ghost, said Mickey. I think, oh, it is a ghost, said Morty, and he jumped up to flip on the light switch. That switch doesn't work, Ferdy reminded him as he turned on the bedside lamp. But all of a sudden, they heard the strange noise again. Scoop, squeak. Then a secret door slowly opened, with Pluto right behind it. Pluto howled with happiness. Ow! I guess the light switch doesn't work. It isn't a light switch at all, said Mickey. It must control the secret sliding door. Mickey and the boys gave Pluto a big hug. See, boys, said Mickey, I told you there was no such thing as a ghost. Ow! Pluto howled in agreement. Now we are going to read the second story, The Case of the Missing Hat. Detective Minnie Mouse looked out her office window. The flowers were in bloom, and the birds were singing as they built their nest. Suddenly, Donald Duck burst in, making lots of noise. Calm down, Donald, said Minnie. I can't understand a word you are saying. Donald pointed to his bare head. Oh, finally, Minnie understood. Your sailor hat, she said. It's missing. Yes. Donald jumped up and down. I'm getting an award tomorrow, and I have to wear my hat to the party they are having for me. No one will know me without my sailor hat, Donald said. I won't even know myself. Leave it to me, said Minnie. I'll find your sailor hat. First, they went to Mickey's house. Look, said Minnie. Look behind that shade. Donald saw a familiar shadow. My hat, he said. We caught you, Mickey Mouse, Minnie said. But when they went inside, the shadow was just a bowl of fruit. Then they went to Goofy's house. Look, said Minnie, look behind the curtain. Once again, Donald saw a familiar shadow. My hat, he said. We caught you, Goofy, Minnie said. But the shadow was only the sleeping puppy that Goofy was taking care of. Next, they went to Pluto's house. Look, said Minnie, look in the doorway. Once more, Donald saw a familiar shadow. My hat, he said. We caught you, Pluto, said Minnie. But the shadow was Pluto's dog dish. I give up, said Donald Duck, and he went home. But Detective Minnie Mouse would not quit. First, she looked up. Then she looked down. Then she looked up again. There, in the tree, was Donald Duck's sailor hat with 3 tiny eggs in it. A family of robins was using it as a nest. Minnie rushed off to find Donald. When they returned, 3 tiny beaks were poking their way out of the eggs. Sorry, Mother Robin, said Minnie Mouse, but the hat you have there belongs to this gentleman. Mother Robin was very worried. Her babies were too small to be moved. 3 little open beaks pointed in Donald's direction, and a tear rolled down his cheek. Never mind, Minnie, Donald said. They can have my cat for as long as they need it. But what will you wear to your party? Minnie asked. Donald gathered a bunch of twigs and put them on his head. If they can use my hat as a nest, said Donald, I can wear a nest as a hat. And they all laughed. The end. Thank you for listening. Hi, welcome to Anywhere Storytime, children's stories read aloud by Ashley. Today we will be reading Flat Stanley and the Haunted House, created by Jeff Brown. Stanley Lambchop lived with his mother, his father, and his little brother Arthur. Stanley was 4 feet tall, about a foot wide, and half an inch thick. He had been flat ever since a bulletin board fell on him. Mostly, Stanley liked being flat. He was very good at dodgeball and hide and seek. "Will there be limbo at our party?" asked Stanley. He was very good at limbo, too. "Yes," said Mrs. Lambchop. Stanley's school was having a Halloween party. "I want to see the haunted house," said Arthur. "I hope it's really scary." "Not too scary," said his mother. "There will be small children at the party." Mrs. Lambchop zipped up Arthur's monster costume. She had sewn it herself. "Perfect," she said. "Scary, but not too scary." Stanley put on his costume too. He was a blueberry pancake. "You look good enough to eat," Mrs. Lambchop said. "Let's go." Arthur and Mrs. Lambchop got in the car. Mr. Lambchop tied Stanley to the roof rack. "All set, Stanley?" he asked. "All set," Stanley answered. The school gym was full of pirates and witches and fairies. "Hey, look," Arthur said. "Hay is for horses, Arthur," Mrs. Lambchop told him. "I know," said Arthur. "Look, a horse trotted by." "Oh," said Mrs. Lambchop. "Sorry, dear." "There's the haunted house," Arthur said to Stanley. They stood in line behind the horse. "What a clever costume," the horse's mother said to Stanley. "You look as flat as a pancake." At last their turn came. "Come on," said Stanley. The boys stepped inside. "Boo!" yelled a ghost. Arthur said the ghost's sneakers looked like Coach Bart's. A werewolf howled, then it sneezed. "Bless you," said the ghost, politely to the werewolf. "This isn't scary at all," Stanley said. "Let's get out of here, Arthur." Outside, Arthur and Stanley saw a little boy crying. It was their neighbor, Martin Tibbs. "What's wrong?" asked Stanley. "Did the haunted house scare you?" "No," Martin sniffled. Martin told him that a bully had stolen his giant candy corn. "It was my prize for winning the limbo contest," he said sadly. "I missed the limbo contest? Rats," said Stanley. "Where did the mean kid go?" asked Arthur. Martin pointed across the gym. An older boy leaned against the wall. Next to him was the candy corn. "That's one big candy corn," said Arthur. "That's one big kid," said Stanley. Stanley looked at Arthur's costume. "I have an idea," he said. "Make room for me, Arthur." Stanley took off his costume and slipped inside Arthur's. Then he whispered in Arthur's ear. "Great plan," Arthur said. "Just don't blink." Arthur walked over to the big kid. Stanley didn't blink. "Give that candy corn back or else," Arthur demanded. "Or else what?" said the bully. "I'll tell everyone that you're scared of me," said Arthur. The kid stood up tall. He stepped right in front of Arthur and Stanley. Stanley still didn't blink. "Why should I be scared of you?" the bully growled. "I'm a two-headed monster," Arthur said. The boy pointed to Stanley's face. "Ha! That head is so fake," he said. Then Stanley blinked. "Fake?" said Stanley. "Oh, really?" "Ah!" yelled the bully. He ran out the gym door, leaving the candy corn behind him. Yes! Stanley and Arthur, they jumped up and down inside Arthur's costume. Martin picked up his candy corn. "Thanks, guys." "Uh-oh," said Arthur. Stanley turned around. Mr. and Mrs. Lambchop were standing behind them. "Arthur and Stanley Lambchop, I saw what you did," Mrs. Lambchop said sternly. "That was scary." Then Mrs. Lambchop smiled. "Too scary." The end. Thank you for listening.